dominion was given to man as his token from God. In Genesis 1:26, it said, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness. And in the image of God, he made man. Male and female, he made them both. So man is not a male. Man is not a female. Man is both male and female. You know, when we say man, we assume that is the male gender. The first blueprint of man is called a species that carries the image of God. So any species that carries the image of God that is trapped in a body is a man. And the token that God gave to that species is the power to rule in the visible realm. So two things happen. If you don't carry the image of God in this vessel, then you are not a man. You may be breathing, you may be talking, and you may be shouting. But the proof that you are a man is that when we look upon you, what reflects from your life is the likeness of God and the image of God. And the second proof that you are a man is not that you are tall and fair. The second proof that you are a man is that you have power to create change. So men were not designed to struggle with earth. Men were not designed to struggle with creation. This is why hardship reduces the quality of a man. Because the glory of a man is revealed when he sustains capacity to exercise dominion. So a man who is in the order of God have no business failing exam. The moment he begins to fail exam, it means he is falling from the realm of dominion. A man has no business struggling in business. The moment he begins to struggle in business, it means he is no longer consistent with the blueprint of Abba. A man has no reason to struggle in ministry. The moment he begins to struggle, it means something is wrong from the foundations. So he has to come back to the studio of eternity and find out what is wrong with this setting that is making it impossible for me to exercise dominion. We don't struggle to exercise dominion. It's our way of life. The way we breathe, that's how we exercise dominion. So if you go to school, passing an exam is not a testimony. That is how, it's just like breathing. If you breathe, you testify. Jesus sent 70 men out, and they went, they said, demons were subject to us. And he said, rejoice not that demons are subject to you. You are a creature of dominion. The reason you should rejoice is that you have a stake in Zion. The testimony is not that you conquered. The testimony is not that you won. The testimony is not that you rule. Ruling and conquering is a byproduct of your existence. But you see, because we are falling from dominion, the things that should be natural to us are the things we clamor about. So if I pray here now and a deaf ear opens, suddenly I start feeling like an apostle. It's not the opening of the deaf ear that made me a minister. As a believer, I should open deaf ears. If I come here now and the blind eyes open, suddenly I'll start feeling like a champion. It's not the opening of the blind eye. It's natural. When the church steps into dominion, we can be doing what we are doing and somebody has a challenge. The demon is screaming there. The pastor doesn't need to start shouting from the altar, get out. The usher standing by can just throw and say, keep quiet. You are distracting the service. And it's not a testimony. This is the subject we want to consider. Not that demon is screaming and then they bring him out. What is your name? Where are you from? And waste the whole service. Where we should equip men, we stop the service and allow demons to do shows on the altar. And the demon can take 1 hour from the service. It's a waste of time. When we waste time with demons, it's because we don't know dominion. In fact, attention should not be paid to them. Take them to the back. Let an usher handle that. We are talking serious kingdom matters. We are opening the secrets and the oracles of God. We are empowering men for assignments that are eternal. Who is this demon to break into our service? Imagine if you are having a family meeting and then your neighbor comes and say, open the door, open the door. And then you stop the family meeting. And then for 30 minutes you are attending to the stranger that came. And then when the stranger finish, you say, let's clap for ourselves. This is what we do most times in church. Service is going on, God is talking, and a demon truncates the service. And then we stop the service for 30 minutes and we are dealing with them. It's a waste of time. Everybody should be able to cast out demons. Everybody should be able to heal the sick. Everybody should be able to succeed in whatever they lay their hands to. They say, whatsoever you do it, you shall prosper. Is the verdict of dominion. But most times, in 10 aspects of our life, it's only one that is working. And then we are running around with that one. No. They say, whatsoever he doeth. It's an error if 50% of your life is working. Every aspect should work. Your family should work. Your business should work. In fact, if it's not working, you should be surprised. But in our own case, because we don't understand dominion, when it starts working, that's when we are shocked. It's to show you the level to which we are falling. When it doesn't work, that's when we should be surprised. But we are in a generation when it's working, that's when we are surprised. If one dominion feat is carried out in the service, the whole church goes agog. The whole church. Meanwhile, in the early church, they were so busy with prayer and the ministry of the word that they didn't want to distract themselves with healing the sick. So they arranged them on the street. When they are coming out of service, anyone that their shadow fall on is healed. It's not part of the miracle service. They went to interact with God. They went for intimacy. They went for intercourse. When they finish what they are doing, then they come, and as they are strolling on the sick are being healed and they go home. These were men that understood dominion. Why is dominion so far from us? Why does it look as if it's alien to us? Why does it look as if only few superstars can carry out certain feats in the body of Christ? Because only few men are paying attention to the requirements of dominion. Every other person comes to receive. They don't come to learn how to rule. So it looks as if it's only the apostle that does certain things. It's only the prophet that does certain things. It's only the pastor, the evangelist and teacher. It has even become so bad that nowadays even the apostles and prophets and evangelists can't even exercise dominion. So they either fake it or they go to such diabolical powers to do what they should do naturally. Imagine if you are faking breathing. That you want to breathe, then you have to fake breathing. Breathing that should come natural to you, you are now faking breathing. Or you need to consult a native doctor to empower you to breathe. It either means you are very sick or you are dying. But that's the state of many people. The moment you realize who you are and pay attention to the laws of dominion, it will become natural to you like you are breathing. The Bible said many things did Jesus that were not recorded. It said if they were recorded, there is no volume of books in the world that would have contained it. So they decided to just gather a few things to make you believe. If they told you what Jesus did, the miracles themselves, thank you very much, will become a distraction. Because they say all the volumes of the book in the world will not be able to contain it. So Jesus wakes up carrying out miracles from morning till night. It was too natural with him. Too natural that they couldn't chronicle it. So they picked a few just to make you believe that he's the Christ. If they were to write the things he did, not what he preached. So the doings of Jesus were more than the preachings of Jesus. Jesus did more than he spoke. So they had to gather what he said and avoided what he did, so that what he did will not become a distraction. But in our generation, what we do are so scanty that most times we come and we litter everywhere we're talking because we don't know dominion. Hey, 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 ha. Hey, hey, the things I want to share with you, it will task you. So I want to let you know what you will gain before you begin. Because in dominion, you don't lose. You see Christians in school, they are having to sleep with lecturers to pass exam because they don't know dominion. The Bible said the king had a dream and he woke up in the morning. He needed an interpretation to the dream. He won't even as much as tell them the dream. And Daniel said, wait, there is a God that revealed secrets. And Daniel will go home and come back from home and tell the king the dream he dreamt. And he will tell the king what the dream means. So you can, from your house, travel into the dream of your king. These were the realms this man walked in. And I know what I'm telling you by experience. I'm not telling you what I read in a book. When I was in school, I won't tell you what I did because you will kill yourself. But when I carry my book, I know where the questions come from. Most times I summarize. I take a textbook of 300 pages. I open. I know exactly where the lecturer will choose the questions from. And then I summarize it. Students come to school to collect my summary. On exam day, go to where they photocopy. My handwriting is everywhere. They photocopy the summary. They dump their textbook and read the summary. And when they go into the exam hall, 4 out of 6 questions come from there. I was very busy in school that most courses, it is on the exam day I open it. Yet I graduated with a 4 point. So I know what I'm telling you. It's not story. There is a realm of dominion you will enter that you will literally tap into the mind of your supervisor. So before he comes to tell you what he wants to tell you, you know where he's coming from. There's a realm of dominion. When I stepped into ministry, they say, for you to succeed in ministry, you must be of 5 generations. I say 5 generations. My own father didn't speak in tongues. Does that mean it is my great-grandchildren that will succeed in ministry? No, I won't allow the warfare for them. This man is a warrior. Whatever it takes for 5 generations, 1 generation can do it. And the way to do it is to forget about your earthly genealogy and connect to your spiritual genealogy. So my father may not be a preacher, but I know I am of the order of Enoch. So if I can connect to him in the spirit, I will tap into a genealogy that is older than my ancestors. I don't need to have a 5-generation preachers to be able to succeed in ministry. You enter into business, they tell you people don't prosper in Calabar. What do you mean by that? I don't know what you are saying. You are telling me story among men. I live among spirits. And where I came from, they don't know failure. We don't know how failure works. Because the Bible told us that there was darkness, deep darkness upon the earth. And God said, let there be light. Because when a God wants to walk, he doesn't need to labor, he talks. When a God is talking, he's walking. What do we do by 20 days of work? A God will talk in one day, all of it will happen. So I sit in my room on my prayer table and I'm determining what I will do in a year. So I changed my future from my prayer table. The other time I was praying and I leaped on an eagle. And the eagle was soaring around the country. And when I came out, God told me this is how we go around the nation. So I traveled around the nation before I began to travel in the natural. So now when I look at a territory and I don't want to go there yet, I say, wait. As I'm talking to you today, I'm supposed to have another meeting in Calabar today with the Presbyterian student. In Calabar, in one weekend, there are 52 weeks in a year. Every weekend, I can have as much as 5 meetings. Because in the place of prayer, I leaped on an eagle. So every territory opens to you naturally. Anything you want to do works. It's called dominion. But there are laws that make it happen. When you understand these laws, the last exam you failed will be the last you will fail. The last thing you struggled with will be the last you will struggle with. I can open scriptures for you from Genesis to Revelation. You will see that this kingdom we don't fail. And you will also notice that if you are not a champion, you will not qualify for your story to be read. Because only those who excelled were recorded. So this Christianity of failure in the morning, failure in the evening, failure with spiritual things, failure with natural things, it's not Christianity. Because the ingredient of dominion is not there. You see people call themselves bishops, and program is happening. One man of God who is working in Dominion comes, and they have a section for bishops. And then you see 35 bishops in one city, struggling for who will sit in front. Struggling for who will sit in front. When one pastor came from another city, gathered the whole city together. If you come there and you turn, and there are 30 of you, the first thing you should do is to remove the collar. If one man can come and gather the whole city, and 30 of us have been in this city, it means there is something wrong. You come for a meeting, people are struggling to sit in front. Who are you? They say, I'm apostle this, I'm apostle that. And then you will have a section full of apostles. There are 27 apostles in one meeting. Meanwhile, in the early church, there were only 12. And they took the whole city. How come there are 27 apostles in one city, and all we struggle for is who will sit in front in a meeting in one auditorium? And sometimes the auditorium can't even seat 500 people. And there are 5 apostles struggling to sit, 25 apostles struggling to sit in one auditorium. There are 25 apostles struggling to preach on one pulpit. Meanwhile, the city is so large that there are many places that are not yet inhabited. Because we don't understand dominion. People are in church, they are doing politics. Who they will post to the city. When they post you to the village, you say they hate you. Because you want to go to the city where life is easy. We don't go where life is easy. We create ease in life. So when they send you to the village, that's an opportunity for you. In recent times, I told myself I'll stop attending city conferences. Because when you come for conferences in cities, you hardly see cripples. You hardly see sick people. Everybody is packaged with suit, with really expensive perfume, coming to sit down like an elite. When you go to the village, don't say miracle service. Because if you say miracle service, you will see people, over 100 people with clutches. That's when you will put your faith to work. That's where you will exercise dominion. When you come to a city, everybody is looking for you to talk wisdom. And that's why all of us have become philosophers. No power to reveal the kingdom of God. It's a shame. It's a shame the direction the world is going. Yet we are priding ourselves as Christians, opening new churches and new fellowship, and there is no impact. The man who is starting a church is asking you, sir, how do I do this? He doesn't even have direction in life yet. He wants to start another church, add to the number, and gather people and confuse their destiny. If we need dominion, it's now. And I want to show you just 4 laws of dominion this morning. 4 laws. If you can practice one and master it, watch your life in the next 3 years. Watch your life. You will be amazed. You will be so amazed. The kind of things that will follow you everywhere you go. You will be overwhelmed. What God will make of you. You will become so afraid that, can this be sustained? The speed will be so much. The influence will be so much. The blessings will be so much that you will be wondering, how is this possible? Because you can be in the wilderness and not know. If you walk in dominion. The guys were walking in the wilderness at night. The Bible said the glory of God was moving before them as fire. So the cold that kills in the wilderness, they didn't feel it. And in the wilderness, they were not struggling with direction. They were led. He said he led them through the wilderness. In the daytime, the glory of God comes as a pillar of smoke and shields them from the sun. So they were in the wilderness, they didn't feel it. The Bible said their shoes did not weary. Their shoes did not wear away. They wore shoes and they were walking for 40 years. The shoe was growing with their legs, and the shoe will not weary out. He said he sent his word and healed them. In the wilderness, where you should be sick every day, they didn't have one doctor. The word of the Lord was traveling with them, healing all that were oppressed. He sent his word, and his word healed them. He said there was none feeble among them. In the wilderness, nobody was feeble. Meanwhile, we were lying down in air-conditioned room and bed. Yet every day we are on paracetamol. because we don't know dominion. The things that should trouble us are not the things we pay attention to. And even when people come for conferences, they are looking for bread and wine, when they can become bakeries that make bread. Everybody wants impartation. Impartation that will rest on you for 2 weeks and lift, because you can't manage the consecration of that impartation. It's what you are looking for. Instead of growing to a point where even if they put you in the wilderness, you will touch the sky from there. Tell somebody, I must walk in dominion. I'm tired of religious Christianity. You are talking about power, yet when there is need to manifest power, power becomes a story. You are talking about Jesus. When there is a need to prove Jesus, Jesus becomes a story. We teach every subject, but when it comes to manifestation, it becomes a story. Meanwhile, the world is coming to look for the Jesus we are talking about. They can't find him. We end up with religion and activities. Religion and activities. You are young people. I told myself, I'm a young person. I will not deceive myself. I will never deceive myself. So I told myself, I will not even preach anything I've not experienced, because it will be a deceived person deceiving other people. Jesus heals the sick. You prayed for 1,000, not one have been healed. And you say you are exercising faith. No, faith produces result.